Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to my TradingView family. It's been a while. It's been a while. I had a little issues with TradingView and not recording, so I had to move it to the YouTube. Good morning. Good afternoon to the YouTube fam. Good morning to good afternoon to all those traders. All right, what a great morning so far working out. Hope you guys caught those trades at the morning brew because we were fire. All right. So we set this up nicely. So let's start because we got limited time on TradingView. So overall, we're going to start off with the indices. We said that we got the bounce on Friday, which was great. We took those trades. Russell, we needed to break above 24.17. It's kind of stopped at that level. 24.20 is going lower. So now MACDs are coming to the end. Are we going to get that pop? Are we going to consolidate sideways? It's important to note what are we going to do? Are we going to pull back? So moving forward, now we got some economic news coming forward. I think the Fed came out recently. Something came out this afternoon, but keep your eye on the news. VIX is creeping up. So again, VIX, we don't like it above 18. We saw some fear coming into the market. And again, as expected, the day as Friday is coming up. We're going to watch these levels. If it can hold Friday's highs, and we're going to be okay. 1705 is if it creeps in the 18 area, be careful because that means more fear is coming into the market and we can go lower. Now, this is alarming a little bit. The bond market is creeping up. So I think we're okay with the bond market being here, but we're really, really close to that area of, I think it was like right in here that 1.62. We're getting super, super close. So watch it. If we start bouncing going lower, that's good. But if we start creeping higher, that's not good for tech. All right. So watch that. And that coincides with what I've been telling you with the tech market indices probably going lower, with this probably getting lower. Again, if we see the VIX climbing up, then we're probably going to go a little bit lower. There's a Russell. Russell's working his way lower. So be careful. All right. So let's dive in. All right. So ultimately this morning, we didn't take the trades on the XPX. Friday we did. Today we didn't. We said we don't do FOMO here, guys. We know FOMO trading. If you want to learn how to avoid FOMO trading, I put a link down there. Press a link. It's going to direct you to something. And I made some videos of how to not do FOMO. We don't do FOMO here. But let it pull back. Coming to the 50. MACDs are not where we like it, so let it drop. I want to see that bounce. I want to see it stop. Okay, momentum is going down. We don't buy puts. We don't buy calls when it's declining. Puts. All right. Now we got the Nasdaq, same type of thing, pulling back. We're at the 50, which is a plus now, but the MACDs are still declining. So again, we needed to kind of linger, chill, relax. Russell working his way lower. We hit this area in the morning, right? Couldn't break through. Bounce off to 50 and went lower. I gave you this trade set up in the morning. I said if it goes higher, but there's also a possibility it can probably hit this area 2390. I'm currently in that play right now and managing as I'm speaking right now. Next over below is 2380. Is that a possibility? Maybe. I don't know, but anything's possible. And you just got to trade which way the market's giving you. You got to listen to her. All right, Alphabet. Pull back. We tried to break that 3,000 earlier. We couldn't break through it. Keep that watch this pre-market 29.95 sold off, and we sold off about 50 points. Okay, so that means that there's sellers up there. We need to unlock them. So again, pulling back with the overall markets. Let it pull back. We killed this trade on Friday. Let it pull back. All right. Amazon tried to go this morning, but again, you got to keep note of where you're at with the overall markets. If the markets are pulling back, nothing's really going to explode, with the exception of a few, but very rarely does that happen. Okay, so keep that in mind. So Amazon going up, try to go 3,600. I gave you this play this morning as well if you wanted to take the play. Again, all I'm doing is showing you what plays are this morning. Take the one that it's most fitted to you, that most comfortable. You don't need to play all of them. I don't play all of them. I have them all, and I'm just looking for the movers of what's going to move in the morning, after lunch, and then closing hour. On occasion, we'll get a ripper that rips all day long like we did Friday. But again, so Amazon working its way lower. I don't like this. Let it come back to the zero. Let it base. Let all these base. There'll be another opportunity to take it to the upside. Tesla this morning, I didn't like it. It's a trade to the downside. Elon only sold, I think, 1.7 billion of his shares or something like that. Oh, no, 4 billion of his shares. So he's still selling. He's at war. So I don't know. I would avoid it. If you're looking for a long term, you can probably get it at the cheaper rate. But basically, let it drop. You can buy puts. Now, I got to tell you, Market maker he knows this information. He's making those puts very, very expensive. So be careful. Choose the one that's most right for you. And you want to buy at the 50 so you can get that momentum to the downside and lock in those gains. All right. ISRG having an inside day. We're looking okay. It's right there. We're not selling off. We're just kind of lingering. I think this one probably wants to go up. I think when it starts going up, this will be a sleeper. But just watch. It's just lingering, right? Chipotle, again, we destroyed this one last week and it's hit the top of 1900. So watch that. It's around numbers pulling back. Now, remember, 1892 sold off about 40, 50 points. Keep that in mind. And the MACDs are declining fast. So watch the 50. Watch what happened here. Let it base. Do not chase. Let it relax. Relax. Don't worry. You didn't miss the trade. I promise you. There'll be other setups. If you follow me every day there's a setup. Every day there's a setup. Even when last Monday, wasn't that much of a setup. We found one. Okay. Lamb Research, try to go. I gave you a thesis this morning. Go on the link right now. Click on that. Watch it. It's about 30 minutes. You don't need to watch all of it, but I wrote a thesis about the chips. It'll be good for you to watch it because that's going to be a play for this week and maybe next week. Okay. Pulling back is nice. We had a nice ripper. Remember, Lamb's Research is just going to all-time highs. It's looking great. Watch that. We got 644 on top. Let it pull back. Pulling back. Shopify trying to go. This is the one that's really trying to go, going anti-market. We caught this last Friday, looking good. And again, just chilling. We had an entry this morning. I didn't take this trade. I have friends that did take, they scalped it. But again, with the overall market pulling back, this is not going to go, but it's holding. That's the most important part. So when the overall market pull, it turns around. This was probably going to rip if it holds. Holding that 50, still working his way lower. We are close. We are close on this one. All right. Netflix, they took it down. They took it down after a monster ripper, guys. That's the thing. We don't chase. This is FOMO traders. These are the guys, listening to whatever person on, a tuber or somebody, and they didn't realize that, hey, the MACDs are pulling back. You don't want to go into it. The overall markets are top heavy. They're pulling back as well. Don't get into it. So we have this top of 683. We're close to that 700. Let it pull back. There'll be another ripper coming soon. Roku, again, they're taking it up, but we have a lot of selling pressure on Roku. Try to go. There was a play here on Friday. I didn't take it, but it went up, right? Broke these levels on top. Now, this is exactly what I'm saying. If you understand where the overall markets are at, you're not going to live long in these things. You take these for a trade, right? So it bounced off of 50 and you take it to the levels, right? So again, we have some headwinds on top. And again, pulling back with the overall markets. Let it pull back. NVIDIA, they're taking it down. Okay. This one, again, had a monster ripper, guys. I'm going to show you guys. Again, they're taking it down. We have a lot of headwinds at that 306. I told you that this morning. 306 is pretty hard. As you can tell, it stopped at 306 and going lower. So we're about 12 points down now and going down. Okay. Let it drop. There'll be another trade. This was the trade I gave you this morning, and I gave it because a lot of real estate on top, and I love the setup here, basing, and nobody was looking here. We have 1607. I told you 1628, and then it can probably go to 1700. Now, last week I told you we got to trade them to the levels. So what do I mean by that? It means that you take the trade, right? This morning it was good. Prime 1628. You lock in those gains, right? As it pulls back, and you can tell it's pulling back, let it pull back, let it pull back. Now, I'm going to take 20% of those gains from this morning and put it into another trade when I get the setup. So if I get that setup, I'm going to put 20%. So now think about this. If it goes up, I keep locking in gains. If it goes down, I lost in that trade, but I'm still a winner because I locked in gains. All right. I hope you got that. All right. If you like that, press that like button right now, because that was gold. All right. Apple working its way higher. Again, Apple was going higher. That's what the S&P was going higher. But again, Apple's one of those movers. You got to look at Apple. You got to look at Goldman Sachs. Apple gave back its gains and came back. So it's still holding pretty strong. It's holding this level. So if Apple reverses and the Goldman Sachs starts going higher, VIX start pulling back, we can probably start making some bounces and continue higher or lingering. And again, we got to trade them to the levels. Trade desk, this was a home run. Again, we gave you this trade on Friday. This was a home run. I gave you this trade setup very differently this morning. And I just said the reason why it was a round number, it was lingering right there. They didn't take it down 100. And basically, they had a second wind. And I kind of said, all right, this thing can go to 106, 109. Now, I don't know what's going to happen at 109, but that was a trade we locked in some gains this morning for the morning trades. All right, now we have now. And again, so with TDD, the options were super cheap. Okay, so that's another reason why we took the trade. Let it pull back. Let it set up. After the second win is done, it's probably going to pull back with the overall market, and it's probably going to set up nicely. I'm going to be eyeing that one again. Okay, what do we got? We got Goldman Sachs. Look at Goldman Sachs bouncing. Let's see if this thing can reverse, or is it going to linger? What's going to happen to Goldman Sachs? Well, we like that. If Goldman Sachs reverses, then the overall market's going to hold. All right, Affirm. Okay, you got retail numbers this morning. If you want to know the thesis on that, you got to press that link on the bottom because I gave you a full thesis on retail. Now, Affirm is part of that thesis. Now, Affirm, they're not taking it up. Let me see if I can make this bigger. It tried to go pre-market. Again, MACD's told you no go, no go. Again, that's why we watch the MACDs to see if we got confirmation on that momentum. There was no momentum. It's still pulling back. Let it base. Let it base. All right. Upstart. They're not taking it up. I thought this was going to go, but again, that 265 is pretty hard. 266. It went up there this morning pre-market and sold off. What does that tell me? There's selling pressure up there, so don't go. What did the MACDs tell you? No go. Momentum is not on its side. Broke the 50. Don't do it. It was a trade to the downside if you wanted to take that. Bounce off the 0 to the downside, bounce off the 50 to the downside, and look at this go. 260 down to 237. So that's about just under a 20-point ripper. These are the things of how we trade. We trade momentum, guys. Make sure that, again, we don't care about opinions of other. I'm looking at trade. I don't even trade patterns. We don't trade triangles. Why? They don't work in this scenario, right? Because remember, 85% of trades are algos. Algos trade at levels, okay? So again, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but this is why we trade this way. Okay, Hubspot. A lot of headwinds up here. If the overall market is not going to go, this isn't going to go. Remember, this thing rallied quite a bit. If not going to go higher. Remember, MACD's told you no go. Momentum was declining. Is probably going to come down to about 819 from 831. Zoom. I like this one. And the only reason why I like this one is because of this. Look how much this was suppressed from 291, right? All the way down. This didn't move on Friday. It wanted to move. It wanted to go. We had a nice move on Friday, and it looked like I had a second win and went higher. Now, again, you got some headwinds up 265. Not the most ideal entry, but that's a second win entry if you feel comfortable with that. But it went. I think this is probably going to go, and it's moving higher despite of the market. Now, who is this? Could be Kathy Wood trading, right? Remember how she trades? She trades while everybody's you zig, she zags. You zag, she zigs. So I don't know, but I'll find out today after this market. All right. Booking. They took this one down. Okay. Down. And it's going lower. So let it drop. We do have a divergence here. Let's see if it can take out this 24.59 on its way back to the 50 and maybe hit that 24.97. Okay. ServiceNow went back up. Okay, went back up, but it's not going higher, just kind of lingering. Coinbase tried to go this morning. What did the MACDs tell you? No go. So again, Coinbase tried to go. I thought we were going to get a second win, but this morning kind of acted weird. When you get these setups, even if you trade that, look at the MACDs. That's going to tell you very quickly whether you're on the right side of the trade or the wrong side of the trade. All right, what do we have? I have a few more here. Let's look at Bitcoin because I know you guys cover Bitcoin. I said this morning on the daily, Bitcoin was declining, is pulling back. Let it pull back. I gave you at the 50. If you wanted to know how I trade Bitcoin on the 50, there's a link at the bottom. Press on that. Look for how to avoid buying the top. I gave an excellent review on how to buy Bitcoin there. All right. MicroStrategy working his way lower because I'm not really bullish on Bitcoin today. Okay. Let it pull back. So MicroStrategy working its way lower. Ethereum across the 50 momentum is weakening on the upside. So let it pull back. Dude, we had a monster rally. Things need to pull back. Now, this is new here. I'm chips. It's all about chips. Follow that link. Click on the thesis. This is where I got the chips. Now, Recovering NVIDIA, AMD working its way lower. So again, they got the semicon coming out. And remember, any news is coming out there. We thought we are going to have some good news, but there's always about a 10-20% chance that we get some negative news. So again, AMD working its way lower, couldn't go. Qualcomm, we got the alert this morning, still holding strong, but it's weaker. LRCX, we talked about that already. ASML, they got some earnings coming up on Thursday. We got to watch it, pay close attention, because whatever they say on Thursday is going to rip the chip industry. Intel working its way. Again, we had a monster rip. We got this alert on Friday, and it's pulling back. Let it pull back. Let's see what happens. It could be setting up for another trade. Roblox, this is a metaverse. Again, working it. It went up, guys, pulling back with NVIDIA. LCID, again, they have earnings coming up, so it's a 50-50. Rivian working higher. Again, if you're playing the 15-minute chart, they don't have options on this yet, but it's working higher. It looks like it probably wants to go higher. It's at 150. Congratulations if you took that, but this is a stock trade. Snow, again, working higher. And we got AMAT. So AMAT is the one that has earnings coming up Thursday. It's holding steady. It took out this level of 156 pre-earnings, but look at the MACDs telling you pullback, no go. All right, guys, that's all we got. Do me a favor. If you like this content, press the like button, press the subscribe button, most important. And most important, I'm starting to go live on the tube. Hit that notify button because the hours are going to change. I think I'm going to go a little early, maybe like 8:30 and 8:45 to get started, to give you enough time to actually process the information I'm getting and get yourself ready for the 9:30 hour, the bell. All right, guys, God bless, stay green, and go get it. All right, take care. Bye.